Cristiano Ronaldo's time at Juventus may have lasted only 3 seasons, but in that short span, he delivered a collection of goals so breathtaking, so technically perfect, and so full of raw power that they have already become a permanent part of the club's modern mythology. For a player who built his legacy on rewriting the limits of human athleticism, his Juventus chapter was yet another masterpiece, filled with moments that forced even rival fans to stand up and applaud. Today, we relive the 10 most incredible goals Ronaldo scored in the black and white shirt, strikes that left crowds stunned, commentators speechless, and defenders helpless. When Ronaldo arrived in Turin in 2018, he brought with him not just global superstardom but an almost frightening level of expectation. Juventus signed him to dominate Europe, break barriers in Serie A, and push the club's ambitions to the next stage. The moment he stepped onto the pitch wearing number 7, every defender in Italy knew their job had just become more complicated. What nobody expected, though, was how dramatically Ronaldo would adapt to a league famous for its tactical rigidity and defensive discipline. Instead of shrinking under its pressure, Ronaldo decoded it, finding new angles, new movements, and new ways to strike fear into goalkeepers who thought they had seen everything. His first season saw flashes of brilliance, powerful headers, explosive runs, and clinical finishes. But as he settled, the goals became artwork. Every strike had intention, swagger, and technique that was impossible to ignore. Whether he launched himself into the air like a superhero, or smashed the ball from impossible angles, or turned defenders inside out, Ronaldo's Juventus highlight reel became something far more than goals. It became a testament to discipline, longevity, and the mentality of a player who refuses to age. Perhaps the most iconic moment of Cristiano Ronaldo's Juventus years came in December 2019, when Juve traveled to face Sampdoria. It was a match that appeared ordinary on paper, but turned into a spectacle that fans would replay for years. In one of the most unbelievable leaps in football history, Ronaldo rose into the air to meet Alex Sandro's cross, not just jumping, but hovering, hanging above the defender's head at an astonishing height. His head connected cleanly, sending the ball powerfully into the net. The goalkeeper didn't even dive. Cameras caught Ronaldo suspended in the air at over 2.5 meters, a sight so surreal that newspapers around the world called it anti-gravity. That header didn't just give Juventus the win, it became one of the most viral football moments of the decade. But Ronaldo didn't need to defy physics to stun fans. Sometimes he relied on sheer brutality. In a match against Sassuolo, he unleashed a right-footed rocket from long range that bent slightly in the air before smashing into the corner. From the moment it left his boot, there was no doubt it was heading in. The goalkeeper stretched desperately, but the ball was traveling too fast, too powerfully. Stadium microphones even picked up the sound of the net rattling as the ball slammed into it. That goal wasn't about finesse, it was a reminder of the terrifying strength behind Ronaldo's shots, a weapon he had sharpened for almost 2 decades. Against Udinese, Ronaldo produced a strike that perfectly captured who he is: intelligent, explosive, and ruthless. The play started with a quick counterattack. As soon as the ball reached Ronaldo, he drove forward at full speed, using his body to shield the defender, using his steps to confuse him. Then, without slowing down, he curled a low shot into the bottom corner with such precision that the goalkeeper barely moved. It wasn't the most spectacular goal visually, but it was the kind that only a genius can execute, created from anticipation, timing, and absolute confidence. His Champions League goals for Juventus were equally unforgettable. The most emotional came against Lyon, when Juventus desperately needed a spark. Ronaldo stepped up and fired a long-range missile that sliced through the air and dipped at the last second, leaving the goalkeeper frozen. It was one of the purest strikes he ever produced in Turin, a ball hit so cleanly that it moved like a guided weapon. Later in the same match, he scored a towering header, reminding the world that pressure is not something he fears, it is where he thrives. However, one goal that fans often overlook, but players and analysts admire deeply, came against Roma in the Coppa Italia. Ronaldo picked up the ball on the left wing, sprinted forward, and cut inside with that trademark motion defenders know but still cannot stop. With barely any space, he fired a shot that sped past the defender's leg and curved away from the goalkeeper. The beauty of that goal wasn't just the finish, it was the build-up, the timing, and the unstoppable nature of a player who seems to bend the game's rules in his favor. Another moment of brilliance came against Empoli, and this one was pure technique. As the ball bounced loose outside the box, Ronaldo positioned himself perfectly, adjusted his balance in a split second, and smashed a volley into the top corner. The strike was so clean and so powerful that the goalkeeper didn't react until the ball was already behind him. Fans inside the stadium stood in disbelief, even the commentators needed a few seconds to find words. It was the sort of goal that players try 100 times in training and get right maybe once. Then there was the match against Genoa, where Ronaldo produced one of his greatest solo runs in a Juve shirt. Collecting the ball near midfield, he accelerated like a sprinter, powering past defenders who simply couldn't keep up. As he approached the box, he faked a shot, created a tiny pocket of space, and hammered the ball home. The entire move, from the first touch to the final strike, felt like watching peak Ronaldo all over again. It was the moment Juventus fans realized, this was not just a superstar signing, this was a legend still writing new chapters. One of the coldest, most clinical goals Ronaldo scored for Juventus came in the Derby della Mole against Torino. The intensity of the derby already makes every goal special, but Ronaldo's free kick was a statement. He lined up from distance, took his signature stance, and struck the ball with knuckleball technique that made it dip and swerve unpredictably. The goalkeeper reacted late, diving helplessly as the ball flew past him. It was Ronaldo's first free kick goal for Juventus, and it felt like a release, a reminder that his set-piece magic had not disappeared. Another legendary moment arrived against Cagliari. This match was pure domination from Ronaldo, who scored a hat-trick, but the third goal in particular stood out. Collecting the ball inside the box, Ronaldo twisted his body smoothly and fired a shot with almost no backlift, giving the goalkeeper zero chance to react. The composure, balance, and precision were extraordinary. It was the kind of instinctive finish that separates great players from icons. Perhaps one of the most emotional goals of his Juventus career came not from a thunderous strike but from a moment of intelligence and movement. Against Inter, in one of Serie A's most anticipated fixtures, Ronaldo made a clever run into the channel, received the ball, and fired a finish that showcased teamwork, technique, and total calm under pressure. It wasn't a spectacular long shot or a gravity-defying header, yet its importance, coming in a heated rivalry match, made it unforgettable. It symbolized Ronaldo's understanding of what Juventus needed from him: leadership, reliability, and moments of brilliance in crucial games. Looking back, Cristiano Ronaldo's Juventus goals were more than highlights, they were a collection of moments that shaped his era with the club. Each goal had its own flavor. Some showed physical dominance, others displayed technical perfection, and many carried emotional weight. But all of them had the unmistakable signature of a player who has dedicated his life to excellence. What makes these goals even more remarkable is how they came in a league known for defensive mastery. Serie A is not a place where players score easily. Spaces are tighter, defenders smarter, tactics stricter. And yet Ronaldo not only survived, he thrived. He ended multiple seasons as Juventus's top scorer, set new records, and delivered performance after performance with machine-like consistency. Even as he crossed the age of 35, his athleticism and hunger remained unmatched. Juventus fans still talk about the anticipation Ronaldo brought to every match, the feeling that at any moment, from any position, something magical could happen. A long-range strike, a sudden burst of speed, a towering header, or a rocket into the top corner. Opponents often looked defeated even before the ball reached him. They knew that containing Ronaldo for 90 minutes was nearly impossible, all they could do was hope he didn't find a moment of space. Today, when fans replay those Juventus goals on YouTube or TikTok, the reaction is always the same: disbelief. How does a player maintain elite performance across Portugal, England, Spain, Italy, and now beyond? How does he continue to perform at an age when most players retire? The answer lies in his mentality. Cristiano Ronaldo treats every training session like a mission, every match like a final, and every goal like part of his legacy. That mindset is what Juventus paid for, and that is exactly what he delivered. In the end, Cristiano Ronaldo's top 10 goals for Juventus are not just about technique or power, they are about ambition. Each goal is a reminder that greatness is not an accident. It is built through discipline, pressure, obsession, and relentless work. Whether he was soaring above defenders, smashing balls from long range, or slipping finishes past helpless goalkeepers, Ronaldo gave Juventus fans moments they will never forget. His time in Turin may be over, but the goals he scored there will live forever. They will continue to inspire young players, continue to stun new fans, and continue to demonstrate why Cristiano Ronaldo is not just one of the greatest footballers of his generation, he is one of the greatest of all time.